Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Business Talks. I am your host, Chawanne Burns. In today's episode, we are going to discuss Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, I think they're trying to move her out. I'm not for sure what the Democratic Party is thinking. I believe some of the people in the Democratic Party does not like Kamala Harris. So this is rumors, speculative. They are trying to move Kamala Harris out and put you know who in, your girl Hillary Clinton. Or I've heard some things that's in the grapevine that they're probably trying to make Kamala Harris and Hillary Clinton a ticket for 2028. So we'll discuss a little bit further into that. We have some more news on Tiffany Henyard, some things that just came out in regards to the fire department in Dalton Village, and much, much more. We're going to talk about it much more on another episode of Business Talks. So you guys stay tuned.
Something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bap. What? This is what you call a bap. Looks a little something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bap. What? This is what you call a bap.
You guys put in the chat. Let me know where you're viewing from. Please put in the chat. Let me know where you're viewing from. It is always great to see every single last one of you. You got to forgive my voice because my allergies is really messing up these last few days. The air quality is low in Michigan. They have a warning out. So hopefully you guys don't suffer from allergy problems like I do. I just need to find some new medication or go walk around with a mask on. Anywho, we have Stephen Nemely in the building. I see Noble Young is good. What is good? He's in the building. Preacher Man 101 is always good to see you. Hi, I was watching on YouTube the history of Illinois Democratic corruption, and most of them were doing the same things Henyard and Freeman are doing. Yeah, Dalton does not have a good pass when it comes to mayors. Actually, the mayor prior, not the one she unseated, the one before the other guy, they said they ran the town. So it's usually those smaller towns, it's hard to get away from corruption. Anywho, but Muata is in the building, Little Rock, Arkansas. Stephen is tuning in from Long Island, New York. Carolyn Cruz, Boston, Massachusetts. Sandy Rodriguez is from California. L. Mercy, greetings from Chicago. Bettina Collins, good afternoon. Copper Rain, Waldorf, Maryland. We have somebody from Vienna, Virginia. Kathy Wade, I believe that's how you pronounce her name. Maine Thomas, Dalton in the house. Bettina is from Florida. I see somebody from Raleigh, North Carolina. The Golden Child, I believe Golden Child is in the building. You guys, let's get into it. The first story I do want to talk about, I want to talk about Chicago real quick. Chicago is really going through it. We talked about Chicago yesterday because your boy Mayor Brandon Johnson, he launched an executive order to facilitate, I guess, research into reparations. He dedicated $500,000 to facilitate or to put into this research or to invest into research of reparations. And they had a whole list of things that they want to research into. I believe it's all a ploy so he could try to get more Black folks to get on the bandwagon to vote for him back in office. And it's sad. He will be a one-term mayor because right now, Chicago is pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. They said this was published from Chicago 5 News. We are losing our children. CPD mayor called city gun violence unbearable after 7-year-old shot and killed. No duh. No duh. You're invested in the wrong stuff. We need more boots on the ground. We need to have a gun buyback program. I'm not for sure what you would do, because these are not grown people making these type of crazy decisions. These are children toting around guns and killing each other. Anyway, this is one of the reports of 5 Chicago. Let me take it off.
To Chicago's migrant mission, total spending more than $400 million.
Now, despite the creation of a city spending website, it's still not exactly clear where all of that money has gone. In this follow-up report, investigative reporter Bennett Haberly uncovers some new information not shared by the city.
This is not the report I wanted to play. Anyway, it says Chicago Police Superintendent Larry Snelling during the press conference Tuesday, maybe I need to hit the back button, they already played, called gun violence in city unbearable and unacceptable. And this was after a 7-year-old was fatally shot by a stray bullet. And the random shooting of the 7-year-old is unacceptable. We really have to think about who we are as a society when our kids are being shot in the streets. That's a good statement. Who are we as a society, especially in the Black community? We talk about how the other person is inflicting pain or suffering on us, but really we inflict a lot of pain on ourselves. I guess it was maybe a generational curse per se, that we don't respect each other. We don't put our heads together and try to build something. And even if we do get like-minded people in the same room, we can't agree on how to do it. That's how we stay stagnant, and our community never reached the heights or where it could truly be, because it's a lot of fighting amongst ourselves. And it says just before 4 p.m. Tuesday, police responded to calls of shots fired and the person shot on the 2300 block. Upon arrival, officers found the child had sustained gunshot wound to the chest and was laying on the ground. Officers performed life-saving measures on the child before he was transported to the police car to a nearby hospital where he was pronounced dead. Okay. And the boy was identified as Jamin Namir Riviera. We are losing our children. Okay, this is another quote. Yeah, we're losing our children towards gun violence. This is him.
Another sad day that brings us here to this press conference. As you know, a 7-year-old was shot, suffered a gunshot wound to the chest. Our officers responded to a call in the 2300 block of West Jackson. That call was a call of shots fired and a person shot. Our officers arrived on the scene. Once they arrived on the scene, they saw this young person who had been shot lying there. Our officers acted quickly, applying pressure to the chest after seeing a gunshot wound to this individual's chest. They immediately took this 7-year-old, put the 7-year-old in the back of their squad car, and immediately drove them here to the hospital. Unfortunately, even after applying life-saving techniques, once the 7-year-old was brought into the hospital and seen, unfortunately, that 7-year-old was pronounced dead. This is a time where I can tell you right now, the violence that's going on in this city right now for the parents of the 7-year-old has to be unbearable. And it's unbearable and unacceptable for everyone in our city. The random shooting of this 7-year-old is unacceptable. We really have to think about who we are as a society when our kids are being shot in the street. We've come off a violent weekend. We know when we see the levels of heat that we're seeing right now, that there's an uptick in violence because there are people out all times of night, tempers flare. But this is unacceptable. We are losing our children, and we really need to think about the gun violence that's going on in this city. And we all need to step up to try to fight this type of gun violence to save our children.
I think he is absolutely correct. We need to figure out how are we going to stop this type of killings. And we know this statistically speaking, you have more chances to be killed by a person that you know or a person that you look like you, other than or rather than a police officer. You know, your chances of getting harmed by a police officer is very slim, but the chances greatly increases if you live in one of these predominantly urban areas and the gun violence is, you know, abhorrent. And I believe I shared this with you yesterday. Literally, there were 71 people shot, 9 fatally injured from Friday to Monday across the city of Chicago. 71 shot, 71 people shot. And then you had this little boy. This is the little boy that was shot on the west side. You know, so, I mean, I don't know how you feel about, you know, gun violence or whatever. You know, maybe you don't care too much for it because you don't live in the area. But, you know, we're literally losing our kids out in the street. Okay. So that's all I want to say about Chicago. That's all I'm going to say about that. Now I'm going to get to our next story.
Mom, could you turn on the roller shades?
No, get out I'm online. Get out my office. No, tell your dad.
There's a fly.
Okay, tell your dad.
Says, why are you scared of a fly? I'm not scared. Leave the room.
Get out my office. Close the door, please. This is what happens when you have children during live stream. And so this is the little boy that we were talking about, the 7-year-old that lost his life. So I just want to send my prayers out to his family. That's all I'm going to say about that. I want to get to Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, first of all, Kamala Harris, and this is so wild to me. This is really wild to me. I don't think Kamala Harris ever shows up besides gay pride during the month of Juneteenth or the month of June. Have you guys ever see her in the news other than that? She had the 50th, any type of pandering that she could do to some type of community, maybe whether it be the LGBTQ community or the Black community. Kamala Harris gonna show up for that. But any other stuff, she's not going to show up. She's not going to show up for any other stuff. You rarely see her in the news. Maybe because she's the vice president. Do you ever see vice presidents in the news? I'm not for sure. But Every time I see Kamala Harris in the news, it's on something so stupid. It's so stupid. And before I share with you about them trying to replace her, I just want to share this other thing with you. To me, this is wild. This is really wild. Kamala Harris just shook hands with this guy, I guess pretending to be a girl, but he can't pretend because he got a full face beard. What I'm told, I guess he's the stylist of Dylan Mulvaney. Now, this is his husband. That's what he introduced him as. But they're in the White House. And what is so really wild to me is when you have these guys pretending, and they're not pretending, I guess it's something in their brain. They say, I want to be a woman. But women don't act like this. Look how this guy acts. Women don't walk like that. We don't, oh my God, look at you, I'm so excited. No, we walk, even if we're excited, we're not going to walk like a little kid. And this is what the problem is I have with this whole, hey, I want to be a woman thing. Because if you want to be a woman, you will literally act like a woman and not a little girl. Even with Dylan Mulvaney, you will act like a woman and not a little girl. All the women I know don't walk around in pleated skirts. They don't prance around like, oh my God, no, we don't do that. So why would you do that? And why would they think that's acceptable? So Kamala Harris, she always shows up when it's something to be pandered with. You know, the LGBTQ community, remember that 50-year of hip hop? She had hosted a party and she had a couple of hip hop artists there. Actually, it was a whole bunch of them there. Stuff like that. She's wearing Timberlands. You don't wear Timberlands. Stop being fake. But anything, opportunity to pander, she shows up. So you have her, you know, I guess hosting Dylan Mulvaney's hairstylist, which is really weird. Then Roland Martin posts this. Roland Martin posts this. Let me just pull it up on this other one. And it's titled Race to the White House. How can I search for stuff? Let's see if it comes up. Anyway, it's titled Race to the White House. It says, shock push for Biden to replace bumbling Kamala Harris on the ballot with this new running mate. That's what it says, with this new running mate. It says Biden, who struggled in the polls nationally in the key swing states, has left Democrats wondering how to jumpstart his floundering campaign. Questions and double doubts exist over the health and ability to perform the job at 81, the oldest presidents in American history. Doubts have also existed over the ability of Harris, the first female and first Black vice president in American history, and the second in command, given Biden's age. Kathleen Parker wrote in the Jeff Bezos owns paper Tuesday that Democrats should look to their recent past for a new VP. Okay. They're saying, and then you have people chiming in. What is a Harris supporter exactly? LOL, that made me dizzy. Do you think Harris has enough support left that hurting her feelings will make a difference? The even bigger question is, does Hillary have any supporters left over than the Podesta sycophants? A lot of people saying she has no supporters. She has no supporters. This is very, very odd. Besides black women. Besides black women, Harris supporters are black women. Black Girl Magic, hey. And she was on, what's the old girl? Drew Barrymore show. Kamala Harris, Drew Barrymore, if she's a panderer, I mean, she should literally run for office. She has so many cringe moments on her show. But it was like a couple of weeks ago, Kamala Harris was on the show, and she was calling her, everybody need a Kamala Harris like you. You're Kamala of the country. No, she's not. Because you don't understand what she's talking about either. So how do you make that promise to her about 2028? I'm expecting a very intense contested primary, lots of Democratic talent in the wings. They would need to find someone more palatable than Hillary, that's for sure. And they're saying if Biden crashes at the debate, they will move to replace him at the convention. Harris will be offered governor of CA as a parting gift. Some people say Kamala 2028 has a great ring to it. A lot of people saying Kamala has supporters, question mark. Harris has supporters, question marks. I think you mean support her, question mark. So you got a lot of people that don't like Kamala Harris, but I don't know if they like Kamala Harris more than Joe Biden. And then Roland Martin chimes in. This silly ass media discussion to replace VP Kamala Harris is a media creation. It's asinine. First, it ain't gonna happen. Second, it ain't gonna happen. Lastly, it ain't gonna happen. This is Roland Martin speaking. Do you think it will happen? I'm not for sure. I don't think they will actually replace her because I think Joe Biden is worse than Kamala Harris. I mean, Joe Biden is worse than Kamala Harris. But this is why I put that on my thumbnail. Vote like a black woman. What does that mean? You guys put it in chat. What does vote like a black woman mean? My pet rock is better choice than Kamala Harris. My pet rock. I got a rock that's better than Kamala Harris. Would do a better job at VP or president than Kamala Harris. This roller right here, random roller. This is a soft roller. Would do a better job. They could sit up. Would do a better job at manning the country than Kamala Harris. So I don't understand, why does Roland Martin thinks vote like a black woman? Why do he think that is a good look for him to actually wear that shirt? If we read in between the lines, he's basically saying vote Democrat, because we know most of the supporters that's jumping the Democrat train, if they were ever on the Democrat train, are black men. They're voting for Trump. We saw the poll yesterday. They said 20%, 21% under the ages of 50 are voting for Donald Trump. So this is why Roland Martin thought it was a good look to say, oh, let me vote like a black woman. Well, it sounds super dumb. Somebody already put that. Super dumb slogan. It sounds stupid as hell. It's stupid. I'm a black woman. And if you vote like me, you vote for Donald Trump. I had a long discussion with my sister today. Yeah, I'll be voting for Donald Trump. My sister, she doesn't believe Donald Trump is the right person for the job because she said he's, the racist and classes. And I was like, well, Joe Biden is a racist and I don't know if about classes, but he's definitely a racist. So you voted for him. Why would you vote for Donald Trump? What is the difference? It's a big difference. It is a big difference. And Joe Biden cannot logically or soundly make great decisions because I believe he's going through dementia. Anyway, vote like a black woman. That's what Roland Martin is saying to all his voters. And he was clowned. I saw this retweeted like 100 times. Shut Up and Dribble said, come on, man, you knew this wasn't a good idea. This was retweeted 100 times. Black women are most educated and politically aware and active demographic. So yes, y'all would benefit for voting like us. No, we wouldn't. No, we wouldn't. And this lady put number 45 is a felon. She got rainbows, white flags. She loves Meghan Markle. That says a whole bunch about her. Biden Harris, Kamala Harris, Hillary Clinton. Most educated doesn't mean most common sense. And I'm talking about my own self. Just because I'm educated, I could be an educated fool. Y'all heard of that old slogan, educated fool? That don't mean you got all the answers. And some people said we voted to the benefit for the community. Some people say he's right. Some people is putting up the laughy emoji. And it's really sad that he thought that was a good look. He thought it was a good look, but it wasn't. It looks horrible. Okay. So that's all I got to say about that. You guys put it in the chat. Tell me what you think. Lastly, I want to talk about is Dalton. Dalton politics. Golden Child said they are the most in debt. We love our credit cards. Some of us. It all depends on what type of woman it is. Some women, if you were raised to stick on a budget, maybe you won't be so much in debt. But if you took out student loans, I met a girl in college and she didn't even have her bachelor's degree. I'm not going to say her name, but she didn't have her bachelor's degree yet. And she had $110,000 worth of student loans. And I was like, well, and she was planning to do her master's. Girl, you need to find a job. But anyway, a lot a lot of women, some women, we do probably have the most credit card debt. I need to do some research on that, but I'm pretty sure we have the most debt in student loans and most credit card debts. I could attest to that. Now our Dalton story. This is crazy, you guys. I've heard of this. Matter of fact, let me see if while this is playing, I'll see if I could pull it up. But it says Dalton firefighters raise concerns over retirement funds and health care benefits. When the mayor first started to run, we did endorse her. Then everything went sideways.
But some firefighters in a South suburban community are raising concerns about the money that is supposed to be spent on their retirement and health care benefits. NBC5's Regina Waldrop spoke with one firefighter in Dalton who's now demanding answers.
The ongoing saga in Dalton now spilling over into the fire department.
But when the mayor first started to run in 2021, we did endorse her. And then everything went sideways.
Adam Farrick has been a firefighter in the village for 10 years. He's also union rep for Local 3766.
We have a ton of concerns.
Most revolve around financial issues. These are some of the grievances the union has filed against the village. Farrick claims many of the village's 21 firefighters don't want to speak out for fear of retaliation.
And there's always that scare of retaliation of what's going to happen if we don't beat to their drum.
Farrick claims money taken out of their checks for a retirement plan not going where it should.
I pick the amount that I would like with taken out of my check, and then that money is supposed to go to nationwide. It has not been happening.
He also claims firefighters are having issues with health insurance, which the village pays for. These are some of the documents shared with NBC5 that say premiums have not been received.
Members are getting claims denied, and we did file agreements over that as well.
Trustee Brittany Norwood tells us these issues are very concerning.
It's very sad. It's sad because for the last 3 years, my colleagues on the board and I have been questioning how the money is being spent. We've been fighting for transparency so that we can have the answers to these financials.
Firefighters say they've been working without a contract going on 5 years, and they claim the village is refusing to sit down and negotiate.
We all come here because we love this place.
But you just wish...
I wish that the upper administration could get it together and do the right thing.
The Henyard administration did not respond to our requests for a statement. In Dalton, I'm Regina Waldrop, NBC5 News.
So my sources, let me just stop this before it plays again. My sources, I'm just going back to my emails that I view. This has been an ongoing problem. I'm going back to January emails, and it's saying that people are showing up for the doctors. And they're getting letters of unpaid insurance, health and life for the fire department. Health and life insurance for the fire department. This is crazy. What the hell are you doing with the money, Tiffany? What are you using it on? I believe this, this whole corruption thing, we're going to find out it runs very, very deep. This whole corruption scheme. I saw a letter because I remember a few years ago, this is when Tiffany tried to get in. I just got to find it. Tiffany, let me just see. She tried to take over the firefighter fund. And one of the guys was questioning her about it. Let me see, Fire Collins. And they sent me a letter about it, but so she literally tried to get a hold of this firefighter fund, and the guy that was over it, they suspended him because he questioned them, and he ended up coming back. I believe he's retired now. But what, like I said, what are you doing with the money? We're talking about people that worked all their lives and retired from the fire department. They probably didn't have any other type of job besides firefighting. And you're not paying their bills. You're not paying their insurance premiums. Even the people working. What the hell are you doing with the money? They're getting claims that are denied. That's what this article says. Members are getting claims denied. We did file a grievance over that as well. When the mayor first started to run, we did endorse her. Then everything went sideways because Tiffany just tried to get to the bag. She has no shame. She wants all the money, and she don't care who she hurts trying to get to it. And then, you have their premiums. So there's two problems. You're stealing money from your workers, and then the taxpayers, because the taxpayers essentially pays for the premiums. They use that from the tax dollars. So if your claim's getting denied, that means they're not paying the bill at all. So you have the taxpayers' money that's supposed to go to the insurance, and then you have the premium that the employee pays. According to the union officials, firefighters are also having issues with their health insurance, which is paid by the village. Documents obtained showing the premiums have not been received. The difficulties come as a firefighter in Dalton have been working without a contract for nearly 5 years. As union members have said, the village has refused to negotiate. It says the last 3 years we have been questioning how the money is being spent, fighting for transparency so we can have answers to the financial questions. And you hate if they don't have a negotiation or a contract in place, they probably could go on strike. But you have one of those jobs that you can't go on strike. What if a house catches on fire? But sometimes you have to force their hand. So, a life will be lost. If they go on strike, would they call somebody else, a neighboring city, to handle the fire? And would the neighboring city actually do it? Do they have the manpower? It says, and they're afraid to speak out. The Village of Dalton did offer a statement. It says the Village of Dalton administration is committed to resolving collective bargaining concerns with the Dalton Fire Department union leadership. We are aware of several concerns that have been raised concerning health insurance premiums, payments, and shortage of the 457 deferred compensation payments. We are committed and working tirelessly to remedy the challenges that we share as the village to attempt to make the bargaining members whole again. No, the hell you ain't. You're not. You're not trying to make nobody whole again. You're up there lying. So yesterday was Tiffany's birthday. It was Tiffany's birthday, and she decided not to show up for the Thornton Township meeting. She sent in Keith Price to tell everybody we ain't meeting today. After they waited an hour and a half. They waited an hour and a half for her to show up, and she didn't show up. He came in, he knew it wasn't going to be no meeting. He came in without no answers and thought it was okay for him not to show up. Let me just pull it up. This is a meeting that everybody's sitting. Matter of fact, they didn't have enough chairs. I don't know. They said it was only 16 chairs there. Everybody's waiting around.
Thornton Township board meeting. I counted 16 chairs, and 2 or 3 of those look to be off limits. This is crazy. They're making the media go downstairs.
This is the agenda for the meeting yesterday. Also yesterday, Tiffany decided to put up her banners. These are the same banners that cost the village of Dalton approximately $18,000 for her campaign. And she's putting her face everywhere. We love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Somebody need to ask who paid for these signs to go up. Number one, who paid for these signs? We know it was on a warrant list and Jason House didn't approve it. And who paid for the manpower for these signs to get installed? We know it didn't come out of her campaign fund.
I don't know how any of you guys are going and going and going. I know you gotta be at the same.
I don't know why I put that on there. And this was made by Kamal Woods. He's out with his birthday boo. So they knew they weren't going to show up. She knew what she wasn't going to show up for the meeting.
Tell a friend to tell.
Who does that? You just do yours.
Yeah, so I just wanted to make a statement really quick. I want to address an incident that took place at a board meeting in Dalton that most of you were at. And, you know, it was a lot of negative energy going on in the room. And I attempted to bring a positive perspective to the discussion. And my approach was not received well. And instead of maintaining my composure and positivity, I reacted inappropriately. I ended up calling someone old and ignorant, and I also called someone a clown, which was offensive and unprofessional. I deeply regret my actions. For a long time, I was stubborn and failed to acknowledge that I owed an apology. As an employee of the Village of Dalton, at the time, I should have conducted myself with professionalism, regardless of the circumstances. And I sincerely apologize for my behavior. It's not a reflection of who I am, and I do not want that moment to define me. And so I hope everyone that was offended by that situation accept my sincerest apologies. And I also want to say, I want to address the concerns that have been raised by many of the residents of Dalton Township. I recently read an article that someone sent me from the South Suburban newspaper. And in that article, it was titled, it was more of a question. It said, Dalton Township trustees in the hot seat. And in the article, it highlighted that not one of us trustees had issued a statement or a press release regarding any information that the public has concerns with. We haven't given our role and where we stand, our opinion or concerns or plans to tighten up the situation that the citizens aren't concerned about. And additionally, it stated, and this was a quote, it said, seriously, if you are not a part of the solution, then you are a part of the problem. And there is definitely a problem at Dalton Township, the person wrote. And I want to acknowledge the concerns that so many of you have been voicing for so long. And I want to assure you that I am committed to improving communication and transparency. My intentions are sincere. I see, hear, and understand your concerns. And I have some of those same concerns. And I'll no longer sit on the board with a quiet voice. I will use my influence to do what's right for the people of Dalton Township. And I understand that the public has lost trust and confidence in us as board members. But I sit here today and say that I will do what's necessary to rebuild that trust and confidence. From my mouth to your ears, I want you to know that I stand with the residents of Dalton Township, and I am committed to being a part of the solution. Thank you for holding me accountable and for your time.
So Carmen Carlisle, I guess she wanted to apologize when Tiffany wasn't there. She probably wouldn't have the balls to do what she did. Or maybe she's starting to feel the pressure from the FBI. Do you guys think Carmen Carlisle would have written this statement if the FBI wasn't looking into them? She's probably trying to separate herself from Tiffany Henyard.
I'm sorry. Hold on.
This is Keith Freeman. This is Keith Freeman. Why is that paused?
I'm fine.
This is Keith Freeman showing up at the village of Dalton to tell everybody the meeting is not going to be held.
Good.
How about you?
I'm doing well.
Should I go home or are we gonna meet?
So they're canceling the meeting. We're working on a date right now.
What?
I do not have the answer to that. I just came out here to
Tell her to come out here
Why
and
don't you come out? Tell her to come out.
Now, why would you let all your decisions come out here without the answer?
Guys, listen.
All right, folks.
But you didn't know it was gonna be canceled before. Oh, they
I
already
did not know the meeting was going to
You all know
When was
that.
this decision made?
Oh, cause she wants to go to the club because it's her birthday?
Listen,
When was this decision made?
I appreciate you guys. Y'all know I do.
She wasn't having a meeting all the time, you know that.
So Keith, when was the decision made? Keith, you better get off that train, man.
All right, sorry folks, the meeting has been canceled.
Better get off that train, man. It's getting rough. Come on, man. You know more than that.
I feel like Charlie Brown with the football.
You know
they do it to
more.
you every time, man. I'm like,
We all knew it
Thank
was.
you guys. I appreciate you.
We knew it was.
So they knew it was going to get canceled. Tiffany out there having fun. It was her birthday. She had signs put up for her on her birthday, signs of her face putting in the village of Dalton. They knew that meeting was going to be canceled. Carmen Carlisle, she decided to write a letter of apology, saying, I'm going to do better. Well, it's too late now. It's too late. Nobody want to hear that apology. You should have, the last 3 years, you could have changed your wheels in the right direction, and you didn't. You didn't stand up for what was right. You just let Tiffany Henyard dictate to you what to do, where to vote, and how to vote. It's too late. Anyway, you guys let me know what you think. Ken Active Counties, the club, LOL. The truth roll with Ty. This is why Illinois should go red. Exactly. Charlie Brown with the football guy said, Nurse Petty, they should have made people aware upon arrival. They knew it was going to be canceled. Yeah, you just wasted a whole bunch of people's time. You don't think my time is valuable? Like I just want to show up for a meeting to be all stressed out, number one, to listen to some clown shit, and you act like you're not doing wrong, and you are. It's horrible. I think as news continue to drop against Tiffany Henyard, you're gonna see droves of her supporters, per se, quote unquote, trying to step away from Tiffany. I don't believe anything. If Keith's mouth is moving, you shouldn't believe anything that he said or that he's saying. He's a liar and a thief, and the truth ain't in him. Okay, so don't believe nothing he said. He'll always probably support Tiffany. Lacey in prison will be so grand. Where Shay, I don't know who is Shay. I'm not for sure that it is. Probably still got paid for the meetings. You know they did. They got paid for the meetings. They on salary. Monica Ortiz, that shows she don't respect anyone. Tiff, that's her. Carolyn Cruz, do you think Lacey is going to jail? No, I don't think Lacey is going to jail. He might get demoted, might lose his job, but he won't go to jail. And if he loses his job, he'll get another one because they short in policemen. You just go over to a neighboring township and they'll hire him. Tiff does not respect herself. Now, you know what? Let me digress. If they find out that he's done some type of criminal activities, he'll probably lose his job. But the man was been involved in four police involved shootings, i.e. accidents where people lost their lives, civilians lost their lives. If he still has a job after that, they're not going to fire him. They're not. He's not in charge of any of the money. Only thing that they will give Lacey is his pink slip. And he will take that pink slip and go to a neighboring city and find another job. And I don't think Lacey is smart enough to conjure up any scheme. I think Keith Freeman, Tiffany Henyard, and some people higher up, I would like to say Kim Fox and Kwame Raoul, they got their hands in the pot. We know Delgado got some type of things to do with it. So it's these people orchestrating some things and like, oh, look into this, look into that. You need to get into the firefighter fund, blah, blah, blah. Tiffany just saw how much money she has access to, and she went ballistic. Maybe it was a plan. Oh, we're going to orchestrate a plan where you could take over the township like I forget. You guys put in the chat because I'm not in Dalton, but it was a group of brothers that took over the town of Dalton, and they had the town locked down for some years. Forget what their name is, but it was before Mayor Riley. And maybe Tiffany was trying to go in that direction. We got a super chat. The entire Freeman family are major criminals. Thank you, sis, for exposing them. Oh, I gotta look into it. It's an entire family of criminals. That's interesting. Well, Keith, he started as a young lad. When I talked about his bankruptcy, and I pulled out his criminal record, he started, when he first, I guess he was in high school when he first picked up his crime of thieving. He's been stealing for the longest. He's been a thief for the longest. He just graduated. Now he's on the verge of white collar crime. No, not on the verge. He is white collar crime. That's why the federal FBI is investigating him. The Shaw brothers, yeah. Maine Thomas, the Shaw brothers. Kellen Cruz said he's black, he going to jail. If you're black, you going to jail. You going to jail. You going to jail. You going to jail. If you black, you go to jail. Stop it. Ouch. Yeah. So I, like I said, but I really I don't think they're gonna put Lacey. I don't know what they have on him, but I can't see jail stuff on him. I don't see that. Of all the names that came up, he's a defender, but the way he defended her about the cars being repoed, he sounds like he's not working on all his brain capacity. He doesn't sound too intelligent. So I don't see him going to jail. There is a truth behind that. Fraud overtime hours. Well, that's true. But is that of federal, I guess, because you're still in, I guess that would be wire fraud if they really, you think about it. Oh, he's overtime hours, wire fraud. He's stealing from the city. I don't know if they're going to get him for that. Because he could very prove saying, oh yeah, I did. We had to serve Tiffany around the clock. So would it be wire fraud? Unless somebody came and said, oh, I keep the time. And yes, Lacey and these bunch of people were on the clock and they wasn't actually working. I don't think they're going to have a person to do that. I just don't think so. Even if they don't like them, I don't think they're going to do that. Tens of thousands of dollars. Do a call-in show. Yeah. You want to call in? You guys could join on in. Let me share the stream with you. If I know how to share the stream, this is so crazy. I use the share stream, copy stream link. I don't know if that's how you call in. Let me see if that's it. Invite member. Yeah, this is it. No. Send invite. No, I don't want to do that. Copy. Okay, I'm going to put, if you guys want to chime in, you can. That's the stream link. You got to make sure you have your name at the top of it. Make sure you have your name at the top of it. Let me see. So this is Lacey. Why they put they faces on squirrels? That's hilarious to me. You put your faces on squirrels. What's that? Everybody trying to. This is Lacey, Tiffany, and Andrew Holmes. This is a secret squirrel meeting to cancel the meeting. This is a secret squirrel meeting to cancel the meeting. You guys are crazy.
I'm sorry. Hold on. This ain't funny. I'm talking.
Her Majesty might hold court with the grandeur, but even queens must occasionally heed the command and unask that seat when the Kingdom Council decrees. Unask thou seat. Okay.
Okay, so it's not a matter of what frequency you're on. It's the. Okay, so it's not a matter of what frequency you're on. It's the. Okay, so it's not a matter of what frequency you're on. It's the.
You know, they did have a bike ride for Juneteenth, a parade. They said it wasn't a lot of people out there. Tiffany Henyard, the schoonery words and euphemism. Y'all need to stop. Spin cycle. I don't.
They got to do their job too. I can only do so much, and that's why I'm telling you guys. I need a board that's gonna help me because I can only do so much with my executive powers. You need people that's like me, that's willing to put you first. Because they don't put you first. People talking about deficits for paying their attorney. People talking about deficits, but paying for hotel rooms. People talking about deficits, but paying for his friend to be here. But y'all talking about deficits, right? Ain't trying to get none of it. Because y'all still paying your people, right? There's a deficit, nobody gets paid. But the people that should be getting paid is all these court cases and things that we have with the police departments and other departments and things we have to settle, right? That have to do. But this man right here, they'll come to work every single week and make sure he take care of the business for you without getting paid. Same with the guy that cuts down the trees. I call him today. He will come out today and cut the tree after y'all haven't paid him over $100,000.
Well, that's the problem, Tiff. You didn't get it at the board approval. So what are you talking about? Remember, I shared that story with you yesterday. Tiffany got caught up, in ties with the guy that she gave a contract to, unbidded contract, $200,000, the village of Dalton, and he pled guilty for some type of fraud charges. And I don't know how it is in the city of the village of Dalton, but since it's a government contract, you always had, I think anything over a certain amount, you got to bid it out. And I believe, when Trustee Belcher was on the show, I believe she was saying it was 5,000. 5,000 was the minimum. Or the maximum, they could just give out contracts. Anything over that, they got to bid it out. They have to bid it out. And this is Jerry Fork Tongue Jones. Why they call him that? He claimed it was never too late to do better. Then the first opportunity he had to do so, he fails to show up. Yeah, why you didn't show up to the meeting? Jerry Jones, because he's full of shit. This is snap from O'Shea. I guess this is O'Shea Jackson. Who is paying for this? Is everyone truly welcome? I noticed you said we have. So did you, Tiffany Henyard, pay for this, or did the village of Dalton pay for it? If Dalton broke, how can they pay for this? O'Shea Jackson, he's crazy. If Dalton is paying for this, shouldn't all Dalton citizens be welcome, even political opponents? Is Dalton, Dolton. Is this you? Come see what I did for my community. You didn't do anything positive. Okay. They clouded Jerry. Jerry sent B.S. Jones. I speak with fork tongue.
Right? That's the problem. Because if y'all really cared or really lived here, y'all would actually help us fix it. They just sat here and told you, and that still wasn't good enough, Trustee House. You still want to sit here and be nonchalant.
This was posted by Mara. Mara, you guys might see her in the chat every now and then. Mara, she posted this. The fact that this was just over a year ago, this man sat there getting belittled by the manipulative women, and he just won a prestigious Men of Excellence award. She's talking about Delgado. Something we all need to take and learn from. I was taught that your principles, no, I think it was Jason House who prestige Men of Excellence award. That was Jason House. I taught that your principles are the only your principles. If you stand by them, even when it's uncomfortable, nearly impossible to stand by them. I can't imagine how difficult this journey has been, but I know Jason House, although not perfect man, I'm sure took his oath to serve the people seriously. I applaud you, Mr. House. Thank you for being an exemplary role to your young men in your community and all over. So I guess Tiffany was talking shit about Jason.
Play on your phone and not take care of the people. That's how you want to do it? But you want to be the leader, right? You want to be the mayor, right? But you don't want to take care of the business and run it like a mayor. Stand up now. Go ahead. Tell people that you're going to pay for the services that they need. And as I always say, resident, just because you wear a suit don't make you suitable. And that's trustee happy.
The fact that she had extreme support back then is unreal to me. I don't know what happened, but they're saying this happened over a year ago. Now they love Jason House. But Jason House was trying to tell you that something's wrong with Tiffany Henyard. Okay, listen to this. What is this? Somebody filed an employment discrimination charge against or civil rights charge Lawrence versus Thornton Township against Tiffany Henyard and Keith Freeman. This was on the 18th. Got to look that up. This court case up. Wonder what that's about. I don't know what that is about, but they're saying they looked up the name Lolita Hayes and then this sexual abuse came up. Somebody's looking into Tiffany's degree.
Talked about was football.
Larry Lawrence, a former employee of Thornton Township, has filed a lawsuit against Tiffany A. Henyard and Keith Freeman of Thornton Township. The lawsuit claims that Henyard mistreated and fired employees, including Lawrence, for refusing to participate in illegal activities or to show loyalty to her administration, and alleged they terminated for reasons such as refusing to donate to her political campaign or complying with legal obligations such as the FOIA. She got a lot of lawsuits coming. Somebody pointed out the Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation and the Rock Island Clothing Group Corporations, they have the same agent information address. And you know, the Rock Island Corporation is Kamal Wood's store. Okay, that's all I gotta say about that. That's all I gotta say about that. Somebody said, LL said, my guess she graduated summa cum barely. Hilarious. You guys, let me know what you think about this. Also, please, I believe I decided what I'm going to do with Unpopular Opinion channel, Chawanne Burns 2.0. I will be streaming on that channel during the morning. It's going to be a morning show. That's a morning show. Probably 30 minutes. Nothing too crazy. But like a 30-minute show, and we'll talk about that. So I want you guys to go over there and subscribe to that channel. That's my political channel. And if you're viewing from Chawanne Burns channel, make sure you like and subscribe and share this channel. Okay. So I am sending all my good to you. You guys have a great evening.